So I have bought a car. Issue is, I've not really had much of a chance to look around it. I got a very quick glance around the car with the owner. It was a subscriber. I really don't condone buying cars in this way, but it seemed like a bit of a bargain. And you know me, I struggle to pass by on a bargain. Problem is, I've committed to it and we are on our way together, me and you, to get our first proper look at it. So I paid £13,900 for this car, which is a bargain price if everything turns out to be okay, because it's low owners, 3 previous owners, low mileage, 34,000 miles, and some rare factory options as well. It's got that lovely pearlescent white paint that they put on these Golfs, Oryx or Onyx White or something like that. It's got full heated leather, adaptive cruise, I think most of them had that actually, and the adaptive suspension on it as well. So, let's take a brave pill and find out whether I've gotten a good deal. Before we get out and see the car, there's a Golf R after all. If you're going to be a villain, you might as well look the part, hey? And here she is, 2015 Golf R, just right as that sun comes out as well, back on home turf. The colour is amazing, I'm going to say that. You can see why people paid the premium for this when the cars were new. It is so different from a solid white. Look at that, it almost starts to take on a kind of satin look, doesn't it? Last night in the dark, under streetlights, it almost looked like silver. Amazing colour. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's give you a bit of a tour. So as you can see, it's got the Pret wheels, Pretoria wheels on it. These were the 19-inch upgrade on the Golf R. The problem you've got with these is they can tend to buckle and crack quite easy. Now, it was one of the few things that I was able to go around and check on the car. All the wheels seem to be in good shape. Michelin tyres on them as well. PS5s by the look of it. So someone has cared for this car. Right, let's get a look around it. Paintwork wise, I think we're all in quite good shape, apart from one little mark on the wing. Eagle-eyed amongst you might have spotted that on the other side. We'll get to it. Hang on a minute. That is not a Michelin PS5. The rest of them are though. Right, okay, we've got one rogue tyre. I completely missed that. Oh, that's a pity. Right, okay, we're going to need to see about getting a couple tyres on the back, because the old Pro Tour, it's just not cutting it. Love the back end of these cars. They look like they mean business, don't they? The quad exhausts on it. You know, in standard form like this, they're quite a subtle styled car, aren't they? Apart from the quad exhaust, there's not an awful lot about them to give the game away. When you don't have a big wing on there, you don't have a big diffuser or anything hanging out. But the thing is, the youth of today, the youngsters, they love a Golf R. What is that about? As we were growing up, it was the most elaborate, flamboyant looking and sounding fast Fords that we loved. We wanted things that looked crazy. I've never quite understood that. I don't quite get why youngsters love them. But there we go, they do. Looking back at the tyres, yeah, thankfully they are also Michelin PS5s on this side. It's just the one rogue tyre. Brakes, these look really good actually. They're pretty much brand new. Don't think we'll need to be doing much with them. Same on the front actually, we've lucked out. And paintwork wise, the car is in really good condition, really nice all round, apart from this. Now that is quite unfortunate. I will take it down and see Paddy the painter, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to need to take him some extra biscuits, because I think he's going to have a heart attack when he sees this 3-stage pearlescent, almost satin finish to it. Anyway, don't worry about Paddy, I'll sweeten Paddy up. Let's get a look inside. Full leather, as you can see. Not enough of these were equipped with leather. They're really nice, don't you think? I guess a lot of these were bought through company car schemes and the like, so maybe people just didn't want the extra coming out of their salary, which I totally understand. Manual, some manual by the way, which I actually quite like. I really like the manual gearboxes on these, so I'm not upset about that. DSGs obviously cost a bit more money, but then I would have spent more money buying it anyway. 35,501 miles, so it's a real low miler. It's not done much. I think the service book is in there. Let's have a look. Right, let's see, got a couple of receipts, service book, there we go. Not going to go through it all, but it does look like it's got quite an extensive Volkswagen history. Another Volkswagen, Volkswagen, yeah, okay, just about every year. Ah, there we go, yeah, rear discs and pads, I did think they looked very recent. Front anti-roll bar drop links, didn't know they were common for going on these. There you go. And the final service was done by an unknown Faux. I think they sold the car probably at 28,000 miles. Looks like they gave it a service as well. So it is going to be due one. I think what we'll do is we'll probably put it into the specialist, local specialist that we're friendly with here. Get them to give it a good going over. Nice service. And also, the owner did mention this as well actually. So it got a clutch kit fitted. This was quite recent, as you can see, just the tail end of last year at almost £1,000. It was the slave cylinder that failed. I don't know why I'm pointing at the pedals, as if you want to see the clutch pedal as I talk about it. It was the slave cylinder that had failed on this, and the clutches, as you might know in these manual Golf Rs, they're not the strongest, especially when people start modifying them, mapping them and so on. I think quite unusual for a slave cylinder to fail. But there we go, it's just had a new clutch about, what, 3,000–4,000 miles ago as well. Maybe not even that, so that's a real bonus. Look at that, just a big airbox, no silly induction kits here. I wonder if the silica, the little gel bag that Volkswagen put in these, I wonder if it's still in there. The problem you get with that is these little bags can burst, finds its way through the heater matrix and really screws up the heater system. So we'll get a look in here and see if we can maybe fish that out. It's very common. Now the other thing the owner told me had failed on this car was this cover here. I suspect it was probably just the gasket, the timing chain cover gasket, but they replaced the whole cover, which is a bit of a kicker, isn't it? But even better for me, no oil leaks. And also, really bad on these, the water pump thermostat, it's the one housing, really common for leaking. Now, I don't believe that's been done on this car, but I'm assured it doesn't lose any coolant. I'm sure we'll find out. There was no puddle underneath it, so that's a strong start. Oh, and the clutch, obviously, getting the clutch done, because that's a real common issue on these. Oh, very good. Well taken care of car. Right, can we go for a drive now? I'm dying to drive it. Car's cold, so I'm not going to rev the stones off it, but it sounds quite throaty in here. Wonder what mode we're in. See, oh yeah, it's been left in race mode. It's not a good sign. And also I'm told this is how you can tell if you've got the adaptive suspension, that if you've got a comfort mode in your Golf R, that means you've got the adaptive suspension that can soften the dampers up. You know, a real testament to the Golf R. Not saying this is a good thing, by the way, just a reality. They were stolen so frequently, and the reason they were stolen so frequently is they would often pop up, I was about to say, during bank jobs as getaway vehicles. Do bank jobs actually happen in the UK, or have I just watched too many movies? Anyway, crimes that involved a quick getaway car, it would often be a Golf R, and you can see why. I've heated the car up now, by the way, I'm not gunning it on a cold engine. Good grief. From slower speeds, these things are properly quick. And that's coming from someone that owned a 700 horsepower GTR. The problem with these bigger cars, you know, like a GTR or an RS6 or something like that, yes, they're fast, they've got tons of power, but they've also got a lot of weight to lug off the line, don't they? The little Golf R though, it doesn't have that. It can just scoop and go. Leads me on to the next best thing about a Golf R or an S3, given that it is the same platform. The way in which these things grip, that little Haldex system, oh my God, it's good. I'm gonna pull up here, let this guy past, and then I'm not gonna say I'm gonna launch it on a public road, but I'm gonna get going swiftly. There's a bike coming, bear with me. Right, let's go. Especially in the dry. God, they are quick. You don't need to worry about getting up to the speed limit in one of these. You're there like that. They really do drive good. What an exciting little car. And also, you seen me there, accelerate, reach for another gear, pop it in, and right back on the boost. The manual gearbox does not get enough praise. in a Golf R or S3. The reason being, because that DSG gearbox, especially consider this as like a 2015 car, the DSG was so good. That 7-speed DSG, it was reliable, it was fast, it sounded good between the changes. You got the little DSG noise in between the changes. So a lot of praise went towards that DSG, and the majority of customers purchased that DSG. And it is good, I'm not taking away from that whatsoever. But with this manual, it's a short throw, it's snappy, and when you get it just right, you can jump right back on the boost in the next gear. It's just so exciting. I never thought I'd say this, but the Golf R is a properly involving little car to drive. It really is. Steering wise, okay, right, you know what I'm gonna say there. It's a little bit on the numb side. But then that's common across the VW and Audi boards for this era, isn't it? And honestly, you wouldn't really expect it to be much better than it is. Steering lets it down a little bit, but in terms of a dynamic, responsive, capable package, it's quick, the brakes are strong, the steering is sharp, the whole car just feels good and together. Oh, look, police. You find yourself driving like a bit of a knob, to be completely honest with you. I'm ready to take a chaser from that police car. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I think we're getting a bit carried away with the old Golf R here. Back on topic, this is my purchase. How is it? Well, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. It's looking like I got a good deal here. Unless I'm on my way home now and I'm gonna park it up and it's gonna leave a massive puddle of oil or coolant on my driveway. I think I got a good deal. Cracking little car, good car for anyone. And also, I'm especially enjoying it. Some of you might know I've got a Ferrari 360. That is my baby. That only comes out on fair weather days. There's a lot to be said for little cars like this, isn't there? It really fills the void. It gives you that kick. It gives you that excitement. That'll never get old. Without having to subject your pride and joy to these rubbish, salty, potholed roads that we've currently got. Now, although I bought this car a little bit sight unseen and it was a little bit sketchy, I'm not a complete idiot. One thing that I did do was a proper HPI check before I committed to it. These Golfs are really common for having hidden crash damage. They're really common for having finance that the seller hasn't told you about. So I made sure I'd done a proper HPI check. The one that I always recommend is Vehicle Score. I'll add a 15% discount voucher and link in the description below if you're thinking about buying a used car. The good thing about their system is it'll tell you the good and bad points for completely free, and if you do opt to buy one of their paid HPI reports, which let's face it, you should do, that's the only way to get a full background on that car you're thinking about. If that report comes back clean, Vehicle Score give you your money back. Can't really say fairer than that, can you? Now, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. Do hit the like button. Let me know what you think about my new purchase in the comments section below, and I'll see you for the next one.